Hello, my name is Damien Leech. I live in County Meath in Ireland. Um, where do I start? Um, I was born in Galvin Hospital in Derry in Northern Ireland because I was conceived I was conceived in I was conceived in Donegal, and the nearest hospital was Galvin Hospital in Derry. So I was brought across the border into Derry to get born, and was born in Galvin Hospital to my mother Joan, and then I was brought back across the border into Donegal to Inch Island, where I lived as a baby, and then I went down to Buncrana until the age of 4. But I think I got sick in Buncrana, and my father moved south down to Navan with the family for work. I'll just check if this is working here. Seems to be working. So then we were in Navan. In Navan, we were one of the richest families in the town. We had the best of clothes. We were one of the richest families in the town. We got holidays in America, 2 months in a beach house in France. We were one of the richest families in the town. Then my parents separated. And my mother got a raw deal in the separation. My mother was very poor. My dad was very wealthy, because my mum got a raw deal in the separation. And then when I was 16, my dad hurt me spiritually and emotionally and psychologically, and I became mentally ill. Then I developed schizophrenia at 17. My mother got me a psychologist, and I saw her for a few times, but then the appointment suddenly stopped. Then I came out bottom of my class. I had got assaulted coming out of school. I got into a fight coming out of school before the basketball final, and I got assaulted, and I got a brain injury. Went to Letterkenny RTC, drank a lot, didn't study, dropped out, went to France, came back, started my journalism degree. My parents agreed they would help me study journalism, so I studied journalism. Then worked in Bord Gosh for about a year, and then I worked in Business and Finance magazine, and I got into a relationship with an Italian girl, but that turned out to be a bit of an abusive relationship, so I got very depressed. Then I did a qualification teaching English, taught in Dublin, went to Italy to Lingua to teach English, got fired from Lingua, went to Venice, went to the Fiddler's Elbow pub in Venice to work as a barman. Walked off the job because I wasn't getting on with the boss's girlfriend. Went back into the bar a week later to see my friends, questioned the bill at the end of the night, got arrested, got assaulted in a police station in Venice, made it back to the UK and Ireland, thank God, with the grace of God. Then I was working in the New Grange Hotel, hoovering the stairs as a porter, and I started to hear voices. I was writing my biography at the time, and my biography turned out to be a bit of a horror film. But I sent the disc to my aunt in San Diego. She was flying back to San Diego, so I think there was a film made about that. And then I went completely crazy because I realised that the Americans and the English were going to invade Iraq and an illegal preemptive strike in Iraq. So I thought the Americans were making a terrible mistake by invading Iraq, so I thought it was the end of America by them invading Iraq. So I went completely crazy, threw my laptop out the window, smashed it, brought it up to the police, told them I thought it was bugged. Then the family doctor and the police sergeant arrived down to my house, said, "You're going to hospital." I bolted out the back door of the house, up over the roof at the back of the house, up the road, and the police chased me, jumped into the river, swam up the river. I think it was a Sunday night, and there were police cars, ambulances, squad cars, flashlights, and my mother cried out from the side of the river, "Are you alright, Jamie?" And so I gave myself up to psychiatry, into Navan psychiatric for 6 weeks, where I was medicated with 20 milligrams of olanzapine. came out, and then I got arrested, basically arrested again in 2005, put back into hospital in St. Patrick's Psychiatric Hospital, asked to drink a liquid which made my tongue stick out, then I had to get an emergency injection to make my tongue go back in. 2006 went to the northwest of Portugal, Porto. My German girlfriend at the time was pregnant, and she flew to Germany. She flew back to Dublin and to Germany to have the abortion. I stayed in Portugal, ran out of money, got drugged, flown back to St. Pat. So after all this, I started to figure out that the Americans were trying to save my life. As I was basically in Europe. I was in Europe and the Americans tried to save my life. So I believe that the Americans framed me as Osama bin Laden, Osama bin Laden, which is Osam, pure Sam, I am Sam, the film, which is me, Sam, in the film, I am Sam, Osam, a bin Laden, and French, bin Laden, which is a full bin, bin Laden, which is a full bin, and bin Laden, which is a full bin, so Osama bin Laden. So I believe that the Americans framed me as Osama bin Laden to rescue me, basically, because I believed that 9/11 was a ransom to save me from my enemies in Ireland and Europe. So I believe they framed me as Osama bin Laden to save my life. So so then you might ask, well, what was the poor man in Pakistan who they said was Osama bin Laden? You might ask what they did killing him or whatever. So they said Osama bin Laden was in Pakistan. So I'm not sure, but I know one thing, that I've no money. I know one thing, that I've no money, and I can't live the life that I want to live because I've no cash. So I'm basically living on social welfare. So that's it really, and I just thought I'd tell you that story. Okay.